am under mandate to share with everyone. It's tearing me up even as we talk right now because God, I was in having devotion and I was sitting on my couch. I could take you to the exact place. I was sitting on my couch and the Lord, it was early in the morning. No one else was awake in the house. And I closed my eyes and I began to see this color vision come down. It just, a vision is just a supernatural experience from God. And he began to download this in my spirit. And I saw this resort, an incredible ski resort. And I opened my eyes because it was so real, Sid. And I opened my eyes and it disappeared. So I closed them again and I began to shake because it was like watching a movie. And I looked up and I saw above the ski resort, I saw this mountain of snow. Now I'm a skier. And I saw this mountain of snow, but it was piled up. It was more than what we needed to ski. And the Lord began to speak to me about the end times, that this mountain of snow is all the false teaching that is falling on the church right now. And if we don't do something about it, if we don't destroy these layers and layers and layers of snow, then it's going to come crashing down on innocent Christians. And in this vision, the resort was the church. These were people that just came, they paid to be at the resort. We give tithes to be at church. Innocent people are going to die if we don't do something about this. I can't believe it's happening in my lifetime. My daughter, who was in Bible school, one of the teachers stood up and said to the students, said that once you're a Christian, you are free to do anything you want. You can do anything you want. You're free to sin. You're free to... And so my daughter's sitting out there, and he's saying you're free to jump in bed with your boyfriend. You're free to drink. You're free to do anything you want because the blood covers it all. And then, and then the deification of man. That is the worship of man. Look at this world today. We're putting on pedestals all these ministers and all these politicians. It's the setup for the Antichrist, because in the last days we are going to worship man and we're going to look to him for all the answers. I'm going to tell you right now, Sid, you see it, I see it, it's clear as day. I can't believe other people cannot see what's going on in the world, but we got to get back to something. And what is that? And that is what we've got to do with this avalanche. The spiritual avalanche that could kill millions. We are responsible as leaders, as generals, to destroy. And what I saw in the vision, I saw helicopters, I saw snowmobiles, and I saw anti-tank weapons blowing up these mountains. And it was as clear as watching a television program. Snow was crumbling down. It was under control.
I like snow, but not that kind.
Generals were blowing it up themselves before it blew up and came down and killed people. I got on the phone, soaked already with tears. My phone was sticky. And I talked to the Colorado Ski Patrol and I shared with them my vision. And they said, everything you saw, Mr. Hill, is exactly what we do. You saw the Ski Patrol in action. We're trying to save their lives. And he said, I personally man an anti-tank weapon, and my shells shoot 5 miles, 7, 8 kilometers into the mountains to blow them up. And I'm listening, and this just happened, okay? This is not 5, 10, 20 years ago. Then he said this, and I close. He lifted his voice like an evangelist. And he said, can I say something to you, Mr. Hill? And I said, yes, sir. And his voice began to crack like mine is cracking. He said, do you want to know why they die? And I said, yes, why do they die? He said, because they don't listen to me. He said they refuse to listen to me. I tell them, don't go up to that mountain. But they go anyway. They go on their their snowmobiles. They go on their helicopters. And he said they're dropped off onto the mountain. And he said an hour later, I'm digging their corpse out of the snow. And I told him, I said, thank you very much. And I said, I do the same thing. I spend my life trying to save lives. And I bought an avalanche probe, which is a long, 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 long pole that you drive into the snow. It's the most wicked device I've ever owned in my life. It's to find dead bodies. It's to find dead bodies. And hopefully maybe find one that's got just an ounce of breath left. A backslider, spiritually speaking. A prodigal, spiritually speaking. But someone who's been covered by all this false teaching. And many of you that are watching this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what you're doing is wrong. You know what you're listening to is wrong. It's feel-good teaching. I am warning you right now.
Me too.
If you are in a church that is allowing you to be free to do anything you want, run for your life. If you're not in a church that is preaching the whole gospel, all the words in red, run for your life. If you've fallen away from the traditional teachings of your Christian life, get back. Get back to what you used to believe in when you were first a child of God.
Folks, that is what I've been trying to say this entire series.
About so many people are going through so many problems, and they look at God as their genie, as their servant. They have it absolutely backwards. Well, my guest, Steve Hill, doesn't have it backwards. And let me tell you, something happened. I observed him before he developed cancer. And it was terminal. There was no chance of him surviving. He was preparing for...
Folks, let me tell you. YouTube is my avalanche probe, spiritually speaking. YouTube viewers, I am coming here with my avalanche probe, YouTube, to spiritually dig you out and warn you before you die, before you dive into that snow, rather. I hope you don't die, but please take this as mine and Steve Hill and Sid Roth's warning. Thank you.